Hi there, it's Michael Andre Ford, your American Angel Intuitive. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to a world of angels, loving guides, a really big universe. The fabric of the universe is love itself. Meeting your relatives, loved ones, pets, light beings, fairies exist. That was super tough for me to accept maybe a decade ago. I think I got stuck on that for 6 months. Plato, Mother Teresa, figures from India, many. Ganesh, Krishna, Lakshmi, Vishnu, Meher Baba, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Sri Kaleshwar, who's love on an Indian breeze, Sai Baba, the one from 100 plus years ago, Mr. Miracles, Tight with Angels. Native American chiefs, Dome Life, Red Shirt, Geronimo, Crazy Horse, White Buffalo, Calf Woman, Chief Joseph, Black Elk, many others. It's far bigger than our brain, what we know, what's currently acceptable in society will allow for. It's far bigger than a consciousness institute will allow for, or any of the spirituality places. People can do this in a group, which means what? Getting to the heart, getting out of thinking, getting out of what you know briefly. You could be the best Buddhist flute instructor. You could be the best yoga instructor. You could have trained through level 50 in India for 5,000 hours. I'm not taking away from any of that, but depending on the path we've taken, sometimes we dress ourselves in those accomplishments or in our training to the point where, and this is all of us, we've closed up here, shut tight like an oyster, even just every other Tuesday. That's, again, all of us when we do thinking and we do the type of knowing that precludes possibility, so that we're not down here opening openness. The only way to get to the heart, the only way to actually interact, feel, hear, see light beings, angels, guides, your loved ones, is to be here and just to be relaxed. It's really about no try Yoda. I love doing Yoda's voice to make people laugh. I love laughter. I do dad jokes because if you can laugh, if you can smile, if you can breathe a little extra, you're just letting go more. There's a lot of people who get stuck in the moment, or stuck weekly, or stuck for decades at a time. There's plenty of folks who won't do this in their lifetime. They've got another lifetime coming. They can try it then. This is about free will first and foremost. So the real rub is, what will you allow for? We could ditch the angel topic and spirituality as a whole, or mankind being more open, conscious, loving, less war, less conflict, and just dumb it down to the bubble that you're in as energy. What are you allowing for daily? Are you breathing more, smiling more? Are you engaging your kids, or are you on the iPhone when you walk in the door from work? That's really what the rub is about, how you're flowing and spending your energy. The Force from Star Wars, those movies are fantastic. What a reminder for us on how we roll. And that's all this is about, is can you flow a little more love, a little more unconditional love, compassion, kindness, first to yourself, so you can shine a little more, and then not officially, but just unofficially, breathe more, be more. Your field expands out. Others just automatically feel better around you. Your laughter is healing and hope to others. So humor is beautiful. There's literally a million ways into your heart, and there's 20 million reasons why you can't possibly be here more. It's really, the brain is a clipboard. It's a checkbox. It's a clipboard and pen, and it's a very tough taskmaster. It's here to lock you up. Even if you walked with angels in human form, whether we're talking full-on human form, you pinch them, they pinch you. Even if you felt Audrey Hepburn's hand in your hand, you got all your answers. The record's 9 hours. 48 pages of answers. I just checked in every 2 hours. I don't see your questions. I don't see your answers. All languages are spoken, all dialects. And here's the kicker. I'm off the hook for this. I've got photos of angels, videos, but you can do this as a group. You can do group seeing, group hearing, group feeling. There's healing to be had. It comes down to, what will you allow for? I still am allowing and learning everything, everyone, all the different moments that we go through. Everything that we sense is our instruction. It's our opportunity for growth. Most of us never say that. And, again, we're all human. We're doing the best we can. And that literally is all of us. We're all doing the best we can. I have never met anybody who runs around and says, let me waste my energy today. How can I misspend my energy? Everyone is running around full bore, full throttle, spending their energy the way they see fit. And that's a lot of judging, fear, stress, worry, reacting. If it's an NFL team scenario, this West Coast team is really bad, my East Coast team is really good, blah, 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 details. It could be your life story. It could be PTSD, a massive state of mind. It doesn't mean it's not real. It just means until you shift your approach, your flow to each moment, until you shift out of the state of mind into your heart more and breathe more and allow more and love more, this can't really dissolve. You can't move on. You can't move to the next stage in life. Everything will seem very real. I don't think anyone's ever walked around either and said for 3 years, boy, the last 3 years didn't seem very real. And by the way, I purposely misspent all my energy for 3 years. That's just not how it works. We're consciously and unconsciously doing everything. And what I don't think people realize here is how beautiful those unconscious moments are. Flipping a light switch, petting your dog, just appreciating something or doing something. Putting on a pair of jeans. I thought about this the other day. It's so complex. Everything is kind of a miracle if you can really slow down. You don't have to drink the jungle juice down in Panama, Ecuador to really get into and appreciate the small stuff. You don't have to have a near-death experience or come off a 1-year illness or be paralyzed and get loose from it to appreciate this. The mind has a tremendous way of being a filter, a lens that blocks out love. Use Christmas Carol, Scrooge. He's a filament or just dental floss when it comes to being connected to life, being open, gentle, kind, compassionate. The more you practice love, the more you flow love, the more you are love. That's all this is about. There's unlove, unconsciousness, details. My story is, my problem is, my situation is, you just don't understand. I don't know what love is. I've lost a relative. My life is upside down. And then there's being kind to yourself, breathing, relaxing, and just going with the flow in life. Nature is a great way to help let go. Again, 2 million ways into your heart, 20 million ways to say this is not possible. Look, mankind, it's human nature. This is all of us. It's why every literary book, literally almost every book from your English class, almost every movie is about the state of nature, the state of man. Can you let go of thinking a little more, let go of the grip that ego has on you? Can you recognize the difference of unlove, unconsciousness up here and understand what awareness, unconditional love is, peace, harmony, the flow, happiness, joy? There's a trillion vibrations up and there's tons of negative vibrations, greater and greater down. I think fear, doubt, self-worry, or self-doubt, worry, guilt, if I didn't say that, you can tell what doesn't feel good. Esther Hicks covers this well. Abraham Hicks, law of attraction stuff. Byron Katie is really good for helping you realize that what you say your thoughts are, what you think is absolute, isn't so absolute. There's very little that's absolute. Look at science. Everyone slaps a flag down on the map and says, hey, this is absolute. We just discovered this. Wait 2 weeks, 2 years, 20 years, 200 years, and it changes. Somebody else discovered something that bumps it out of the way. Now, the second science wants to get with it, with respect to listening. The universe is there. The universe is far bigger than we're ever going to appreciate, you and I. That said, you don't have to try to grasp all this. It's not about grasping it all. It's just about 7% less thinking a week. I'm quoting an angel on this. 7% less thinking a day. Get a calculator. I always forget what it is. It's 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes or something a day. What's that mean? It means take a break from the eternal self-importance man does about either outside activities, our pursuits, our science, what we think we know as a society, or just ourselves, that we're rigid about this, inflexible about that. We absolutely are stuck this way. And instead, take a nap, go for a walk, hug a tree, hug your dog, make a meal, but appreciate making the meal. Read a book, put your feet up, relax, go for a run, exercise. 20 million ways to take it easy and be here. And what I was talking about with the genes was it's these micro moments. We're not talking any of the cultural stuff today. We're talking micro moments of just bliss, happiness, satori, samadhi. This is across all religions, all philosophies. You can meet Plato, hang out with Sai Baba, hang out with Gandhi. And again, what's brilliant about this is you merely have to say, okay, maybe the fabric of the universe is love. Maybe there are beings of light, pure unconditional love. They don't want to interfere. You have free will. You're exercising your free will from your first breath to your last breath. On your last breath, I'll argue, you'll get a little review or realize, holy cow, boy, did I make things complex when they were always very simple. Love is a constant in you and around you. Love has just always been there. Sure, you tap into it when you first meet a person in a relationship for the first 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 years. Maybe you've been in love for 40 years in a beautiful relationship. Fantastic. Love is infinite. It's sparkly. It's what you're made of. You're made of light. Everything is light. Everything is love, to quote Mary, the big Mary. Meet her. She'll make rainbow glitter for you in the area around you, and you won't have to vacuum afterwards. It's kind of cool. Again, what will you allow for? But everything is love, and she reminds us, open your eyes to see love. You have that capacity. Your heart, if we talk in terms of the Zen stuff, you do seeing without seeing. You do hearing without hearing. You do feeling without feeling. That's catching the scent of sage. I blow sage on all my shows. All my guests take steps with angels and guides before the show, after the show, and small steps during the show. I think I only got shy with one guest who's really famous. I blew sage to her in Ireland, and she caught daisies and roses. Just smell sage, but this is the point. None of what I say really matters in one sense. It's what will you allow for. Sure, you could smell sage. Everyone smells sage. I was a guest on 40, 44, 48 shows in the last 20, 22 months. I'd blow sage to the show hosts, the producers, the whoever, the staff. They smell sage in other countries, other places. It's recorded, and it's 4 years in the future. You can still smell sage. There's just something about everything is love. Everything is energy. Everything, you call it plant medicine if you have to, but it's really angels, the universe, bringing you the vibration. And the same vibration of love turns into words. It's why it's great that all languages are spoken. It's great that all dialects are spoken. You speak 3 languages. You speak German, French, and Italian, or English. Let's do 4 languages. Get all your answers all the different ways. You can also talk to multiple figures at once, and that gets really fun because, one figure says it one way, another figure says it a different way. A third figure uses some humor and gives you a really good action step to take. It's just beautiful. And you don't have to settle for just 3 answers. If you ask who you should call next, you're a salesperson, you can get like 20 answers of who to call next. So how fast can you write? But more importantly than all the languages in the world getting detailed answers is angels, the universe, pure consciousness, love, life itself, your guardian angel, your relatives. They know how to navigate your personal value system, your likes and dislikes that are arbitrary in one sense. I think you should keep doing exactly what you're doing. You're the only one who can decide anything. You're the only one who can take yourself and your life situations less seriously and have more fun and become that sparkly, joyous person that we would all want to hang out with, including yourself, at a party or at the beach. You're the only one who can grow. And it's so important that you make your own decisions. That is the number one thing. So if you're mean, uptight, stuck in some massive situation, I would love to tell you you can get it addressed right away. You can get any answers for that situation from angels. You can get any answers from Plato, Marcus Aurelius, Socrates if you're a Stoic. If you happen to be the number one author on this area, you happen to be in the Buddhist community, you can meet Buddha, Kuan Yin, Thich Nhat Hanh. But if you're not ready to listen, if you're not really ready to let go of the identity that we tend to like glam onto or glue into or get attached to our illness, our situation, our financial situation, we're stuck, our lack of love, our lack of relationship. I don't know what love is. I heard that from someone 2 years ago. Everyone knows what love is if you just pay attention, get out into nature, put a hand on your heart, feel yourself, breathe more, start a meditation class, mindfulness class, do something to hit the reset button. Your reset button is here. And what I was getting at is angels, your guides, your guardian angel, light beings, everyone knows how to reach you in a symphony of light that turns into words that just know how to navigate your personal value system so that when you hear the message, it hits home the right way. You're comfortable with the words, you feel love, supported, kindness, and you go, interesting. And in fact, if you're doing a real session, I do Microsoft Word documents like formal Q&A sheets, a lot of blanks. So what do I need to know about you? Fill in the blank. I never see the topic. I never see your answers. But you get your answers. And a lot of times it's a couple days later you're reviewing it and you're like, wow, I don't remember writing that. That's cool. You full on hear their voices. Angels, again, Plato, Mary, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha. For a rare few, I do guide the Neil Donald Walsh thing. You can be Neil Donald Walsh for a day. I just describe it as all voices at once coming in. Go to my website. On the first page, there's a lot of the figures listed, I mean, it's more than 100 plus angels if we count everybody's guardian angels and their muses and their. You have an angel for, I mean, I would argue for everything. You have a really big squad. Some angels come and go. It doesn't mean you can't talk to them again. It's just they're here to help you slow your roll in a particular stage in life, to appreciate more, allow more, and maybe pick up a lesson, pick up a skill, pick up more appreciation for something, and then they cruise because their job is done. Again, you can still chat with them, get to know them. You can full on see them. I don't think people understand at all what's being offered. In a way, the world's still got to catch up on this concept. The same goes for the spirituality community, the publishing community, the wellness, holistic community. But that doesn't mean that on any given day, any person can't do this. And what's really cool is, again, if you're a husband and wife and you chat with angels separately, you can also hear jointly. Or Geronimo, Dull Knife, Red Shirt, and Crazy Horse. It's really fantastic. And you can hear music. You can hear angels singing. You can get chimes. You can catch scent, incense from an Indian temple that you feel like is just behind you, and the highest vibration of India. The highest vibration, not the other stuff. You can meet that tiger. If you watch my show, you'll see the tiger over my shoulder on the wall. That's the deity-like figure, the tiger that's action on everyone's team, that you'll see the Divine Mother riding on, or Shakti. You can meet her. It's everything Joseph Campbell talks about in The Power of Myth. I have a great suggested reading page on my website with tons of books, movies, even a few videos, like music videos. I think there's any number of ways for you to let go, take things less seriously, get to your heart. But Joseph Campbell, you can meet him. Boy, did he do a great job of connecting the dots, not taking anything too seriously, but boy, was he fantastic in how he approached all these mythology, cultural, religious, philosophical topics, Native American, India. Boy, was he traveled. His students must have loved him tremendously. You can meet Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche. I've had two of his students from like the 70s reunite with him, so it's a big deal. It gets, usually if you're reuniting with your mentor or teacher, it's a little bit of leaky stuff up there. I had a woman who went to India in 1997 to adopt two infants from Mother Teresa, who got to reunite with her in 2020. Check out that. I think it's a 2-minute testimonial on my YouTube channel plus my website. 1 minute in English, 1 minute in Swedish. She's been in Sweden for 30 years. That was a big moment for her. Everybody meets angels first, then you can meet your favorite figures. Who else? There was a film director, cultural type, former Miss Hawaii, just the most fantastic, graceful woman in the world, who I did not realize when she met a kapuna from Hawaii that had been her mentor when she was younger, is the best way I can say it. Again, you meet angels first. But that's Kapuna Auntie Margaret. Anybody can meet her. Anybody has. You can hang out in Hawaii with your eyes shut. Angels will make the setting and do it that way. I always insist on some active participation first. So you smell some sage. I'll do that in a little bit. Blow it through the screen. And I've got to mention for the show, before I get back to what I do for folks, the show, everyone's taking steps. I don't think people realize that. You have to stick around to the end of the show. People will figure this out over time. So here you have 50 episodes in 2023, where 49 of them people took active steps during the show. And all those guests usually do stuff before and after the show as well. And that's where a lot of the really cool stuff happens. They can reunite with a loved one. The point of the show isn't to prove anything or to try to convince anybody of anything. It's just hear their life story, hear their amazing insights, hear how they've grown, hear where they're still putting their poker chips in a good way and where they're putting their poker chips in a this is my problem still or my opportunity for growth. We're all on our own unique life path. And again, back to the point of, as soon as you recognize the hot stove effect of the flow of energy here, or the lack of flow of energy, or the lack up here, the unconsciousness, the lower vibration of the brain, and what most of our thinking is, sorry to break it to you, scientists, sorry to break it to you, people who take themselves career-wise so seriously they can't allow for more sparkle, love, and helping others. The more you realize that this is unlove and the more you realize this is love, the more you're off to the races. Your unique life path is your unique life path. You did not come into this world without one. Angels can help you define it, remember what it is. Angels can alter your path too. And if we talk healing, it's between you and angels. Some stuff's written Other stuff is not. It's up to you to figure out and do that direct listening. Be like, hey, what can I ask for? I even had somebody who, let me think if I can say this the right way. A doctor, well established forever, who has a crippling disease. They're supposed to have that crippling disease. This is years ago, but it just came to me now. But that doesn't mean they couldn't ask, well, what can I do about it? Or what can you do about it, angels? And that was, I can't remember exactly the situation, but it was less of difficulty in a certain quadrant by like 50, 60, 70%. That's, again, between that person, angels, and then I think you have to make the request often. I've had colorblind people see colors. That's temporary. I haven't done this enough to know. Again, that's a conversation you have to have. I stay out of almost everything. I try not to tell you anything. What would be the point? You're already spending your energy exactly how you're spending it. You know best. You act like you know best. And whether you're doing things consciously or unconsciously, and this isn't to sound like a stick in the mud about this, but you own your energy. Again, no one runs around spending their energy saying, I'm going to go waste my energy today. How can I go waste my energy? I'm going to go judge a lot of people, do plenty of fear, negative stuff, worry, unconsciously make gossip about others, and so on. There is a point to all this. The more you can breathe and relax and be at peace, the more you start to figure things out, the more the universe has room to come in and help you. You've created space. You have to set your intent, even if you do it one way. That's how you're operating now, or most of us are operating now, is one way all the time. We fire off our energy and then we're surprised we get more stuck on something, or we fire off our love and we are surprised we get more love and kindness and sparkle and humor and more fun, and a certain cool situation arises that we've been looking forward to. That's all this is. And so a lot of people are worried about like global climate change, cultural this, what's going on over there, what's going on over there in another, region, politically, or this and that. Love is love, shiny, infinite. As soon as you start to figure out that there's something about love that makes all the difference in the world, that's where those folks who have grown into more love start to spend their time. Compassion, kindness, gentleness. Again, that's what this is about. Now, if you're a good American watching, and people in New Zealand, Australia, Canada, India are great at this. They hit the ground running. They don't need much instruction at all. They just say, what's next? Got it. So you're asking a question of an angel, you get a hug, you get to see light energy form, little ball of light, flash of light, streak, a heart made out of pink for Heather, or for Joy, white heart made out of light from Heather. There's a million ways an angel can show up that way, but then you're ready to look out the window, and again, you can do this jointly and see an angel standing there, modern garb, old school, it depends if it's Abraham of old, an angel on everyone's team, kind of grandfatherly, fatherly figure. You can catch the smell of a pipe, tobacco, cologne, something comforting for you so that you're like, oh, wow. They all give great advice. You have no privacy. Your situation is known. And so, that's pretty astounding. Imagine, again, what happens when the scientific community gets jiggy with it and realizes, hey, I can have any answer to any question. Now, you're going to have to be kind of a nice person in the moment. You're going to just have to be open, full stop. You have to operate a pen and a piece of paper. You can't be afraid of this. You have to allow for it. This is tough. Spirituality, woo-woo-woo, New Age, Christianity, this religion, this country's philosophy. There's a lot of reasons why people can't get in the game of life. They can't be in their heart. They can't do more love. It's all rationale. It's all logos, logic. It's all psyche. It's all ego. It's all resistance to what already is. Love is huge. Look at the UAP, UFO topic. It's not that it's not a legitimate quest. It's a great thing for civic discussion, for more transparency, openness in society about what defense contractors are doing. This government, that government. Does life exist? That's kind of a dumb question if you ask me. Life totally exists. You can meet, feel, and hear angels that come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, all different purposes. They're all unconditional love. You have free will. You're protected. Trust in that. If you're willing, it's just more available today. You can, again, have any answer to any question, get hugs. Those waves of light passing through you can take your stress off of you. People cry, people yawn. I think the record for yawning is like 2.5, 3, 4 hours. Back at the beginning of the pandemic, someone was in Mexico who had a 50-50 choice to stay or go. You don't get to a major illness without having some complexity come in. And all of this is about is simplicity. Reducing life back to being able to walk a smoother path, breathing easier, understanding how flows in life work, understanding how to attract outcomes rather than force outcomes. When I was on Wall Street, I thought everything happened up here, or when I did public relations, I still had fun with public relations. I thought and I still think I did, 1 + 1 = 11. I'd introduce one side, an expert on a topic in some industry or legal issue with a top-notch reporter in the business world. I put people on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. I peaked out at 1,100 plus media interviews in 2008, right around the time of the Lehman crisis. I got to work with some of the surviving Lehman execs. It all ended around, 2009, 10. As a $1 billion law firm, I got an hour's notice. I was in the 4th stealth layoff. 72 of us, 1 hour's notice, the career's gone. And it was my chance to escape from New York to get to Texas. I bought a home here in Austin. We're in San Antonio now, but at the time, didn't know who. I'd heard of Oprah. She was my Baltimore newscaster back in the old days. Totally different person then versus her, OWN, Oprah Winfrey Network, Super Soul Sunday show. But hadn't really done my reading on Plato. And here I was meeting Plato later. I got ribbed about that. Skipped half my reading. It doesn't matter how learned you are. If you're a Indian monk, a Christian monk in India, the top tantric this, the top yoga performer that, the top musician this, a sacred musician. We all are instruments of love. We all have a million percentage points of, or whatever I'm trying to say, unlimited capacity for more shininess, more kindness, more humor, more sparkle, more love. We don't even have to do much. You need a giant catcher's mitt to receive all. You have to ask for it. Just call it a moment of spiritual awakening, grace, an act of God, all that stuff. Sometimes it takes an illness, a car crash, a divorce, a job layoff, and a culmination of other events to pop out of what we thought we knew into something broader, gentler, kinder, and bigger. Seth from the 1970s, a light being, you can meet him. He'll tell you in some famous quotes from The Nature of Reality that it's not going to be found outside of you. It's going to be found through you, the world you thought you knew, through here into a broader reality. And that's what this is. I do trans-dimensional channeling for an amazing, fun, multi-dimensional experience, but there's 800 other ways people have heard what I do for folks. I introduce you to angels. I help you reconnect with your soul. I help you fall in love with life again. I think I've got at least 150 of those responses from 12 years listed on the front page of the website, lower down. I gave away the service for 8 years. I'm still technically kind of giving it away. This is way beyond what people can allow for or accept right now. But the good news is, if I talked to somebody 5 years ago, they don't remember talking to me, they said no then. 3 years later, they might say yes, and they meet angels, and so on. So it's don't take anything personally. Let's do Don Miguel Ruiz. Always do your best. Don't assume anything. And there was a fourth. That's what this is about. Everyone's spending their energy how they're spending it. But if you want to simply slow down more and pay attention to how you're throwing your poker chips around in the big casino here, it's Casablanca. A lot of us are shocked that there's gambling going on, and that's all we're doing all day long is spending our money at the roulette wheel, the craps table, blackjack, and so on. But when you do the light switch right there, or pedal on the Peloton, or flip your computer on, those micro moments, you're an Olympian. You're doing Olympian level moves with your energy all the time, but you give yourself, through the brain, you give yourself no credit for it. Just taking the collar off the dog and maybe having enough presence to let your dog lick you in the face, or to nuzzle your dog and go, woozy, 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 I love you, fluffy. I got Joy and Paisley here. But the more you can be present, the more you can flow, the more you can be you, is the name of the game. That's it. An angel again said 7% less thinking a day, a week, a month, it's all the same, is the Olympic gold medal. There's no massive go walk Mount Everest, go to Machu Picchu, go to this ashram, or go visit India for 7 months and learn from learned gurus. You have it all within, and actually, technically, that's the only place you can find it. It's the only place through which you're going to grow into who you really are, who you signed up for, who you've forgotten that you are. This is a remember to remember, if you can remember, when you remember situation. Now, I thought that was original, but Songyal Rinpoche said for 35 years teaching his students, remember to remember. A book fell off the shelf. Thanks. I got it from Plato. I got it from Dull Knife, Red Shirt, Geronimo. Now, these folks are wonderful. It's great. You can have any answer to any question. So business people are some of my favorite. They're the actual spiritual community. If you gave me an award system and I had to give an award, it's not the Watkins 100 list necessarily. I've had people from the Watkins 100 list be absolutely fantabulous. They've been on the show. I've had one who freaked out 5 minutes in and was super intellectual, sold millions of books, but just had to ring off because he was triggered from a childhood thing. This is a lot for people to take. I get it. I'm pretty harmless. I'm like, hey, do you want to have a virtual tea? 5,000 people have been like, wham, slam the door. Can't do that. Or a LinkedIn invite. I'll accept the LinkedIn invite, but don't ever contact me again. Or it's the opposite. Hey, this is so sweet what you do for folks. It's so much fun. I'd love to have a cup of tea. They meet angels. It's awesome. Cool. What will you allow for is what this is about. But let's ditch angels, ditch the spirituality topic. Let's just talk neighbors in a typical neighborhood. There's people who will never answer the door. There's people who start to answer the door and then slam the door in your face. There's other people who invite you in. You have a cup of tea, cookies, scones. Maybe that's 1950s, maybe not so much anymore. I don't know. There's a lot of this, devices, and everything else. The real key to this, though, and that's why mindfulness, meditation is so fantastic. Paul Sugar, thank you for doing what you do. 50 plus years of mindfulness, and you're teaching it in public school systems. Let's hope that one takes off. But there's mindfulness, there's meditation, there's being present, there's a ton of Zen, Buddhist folks, non-duality. Just pretend, picture, allow for, guess what's coming next. It's seeing flows of light between people. You can see auras on people. You can see auras on your hand, your dog. And once you can see light flows and distinguish between here and here, guess what? Hard to make a bad real estate deal. Hard to get bamboozled by that group over there that was telling you it was great land when it was really swamp. You'll see their energy. You'll know. In other words, lying, less than love is one way, lower vibration, positivity, love, grace, ease, joy, sparkle, a touch. It's worth 1,000 words. The same thing with a hug from an angel. One hug from an angel is worth 100,000 words. So check out my website. It's not a normal website. It's not Gabby Bernstein. Still buy all her books, go to her seminars, do everything you're supposed to do, watch her show, subscribe. But if you go to Gabby Bernstein's website, it's like a 7-step funnel. You can only do 7 different things, and they all go into products and everything else. I'm pretty sure my website, I do have photos for sale, $3 each, but you can still see the photos in different spots on my social media. Photos of energy, angels in light energy form, but I use historical photos. Those historical photos can wink, smile, move. You and I know photos can't move. Red Shirt, gentlest mom in the world. Catch the scent of sage. Pause this if you need to. I'm going to keep moving. 50 different sacred scents you can smell from him. He's wearing U.S. presidential medal. Gentlest mom in the world, not a manly description, but he's super soft and sweet. Anyone going through a divorce, health crisis, job layoff, you name it, they always gravitate to him. The first angel everybody meets, an ambassador, communicator for this whole thing, Joy. Super sweet, high peppy voice, 28 years old, sort of is how I describe it. Now, an angel can show up, they've got Hollywood wardrobe. They can show up as a male, a female. I've had Joy show up as a male, a female in human form. It's a long story. I take 2 to 5 years to learn something that you, personally, every single one of you watching, learns like this. I'm not going to say I'm an idiot. I taught myself algebra in 6th or 7th grade, took calculus in 9th grade, but I can be slow on the spiritual front. But I'm a super fast teacher. Touch your shoulder, just do a few moves, and you're listening, feeling, and seeing like that. And you're unlocking all your intuitive skills. So grab me for sort of an intuitive skills workshop, but you'll get way more than that. Grab a group of folks and make an offer. I think that's the best bet for all of you. I'll be doing big groups one day. Here's Charlotte, everybody's favorite school teacher from 3rd form if you're from New Zealand, England, Canada. 3rd grade, Mrs. Wilson, if you want to think of her as this. Not the Mrs. Wilson who got you suspended, the nice one. But she's much older. At Omega Institute, I got to mention with Joy, I always say she shows up as a blonde, and you can see her wings unfold and stuff like that. But at Omega, at least 2 or 3 people saw her as a brunette, like a football field away. Okay, Dull Knife, wisdom with some humor, mountain range, Archangel Michael, one way. There's no one way about these photos. I've got other photos of Michael in different form. My guardian angel, Min, like Minnesota, Lakota Sioux word for water. You can smell ocean through her and stuff like that. I want to show a photo I never really show that often. It's archangels over my house. I just heard step out, and I shot this over my house 2 houses ago, probably 10 years ago, 8 years ago. All the archangels, and there you go. A fairy named Ginger. Fairies exist, yes, don't pigeonhole them. If you're an astrophysicist looking for the gravitational pull formula, that answer, you can still talk to a fairy, they're good. Just a little bit of a different vibe. High, peppy voice, way above Joy's. Geronimo, classic, young. An angel makes hearts in her photos. You should see all the hearts. It's on my website. An angel who coached an Olympic athlete who won a lot of golds, famous name. Coach for all things. This is about living and discovering your unique life path. Learning and expansion, growth, the opportunity to expand never stops. That's why a lot of these professionals, whether they're spiritual or just self-help or business or athletes, you can't take any of it too seriously. Everything is ebb and flow. You're going to hit a slump if you're an athlete. It's why the practice of that mindfulness, presence, the just aha, or allowing more in each moment, and just that sparkle is the most important thing to cultivate. The joy of life itself, being in the moment. All moments can be the same. I'll mention that. Sai Baba, the one from 100 plus years ago, I just had somebody get really hung up on the fact that I said Sai Baba, not Sri Shirdi Sai Baba. But I have to try to crack like an egg all of humanity. Good luck with that. I run into so many fuddy-duddies. It's insane. And I also run in any of those fuddy-duddies or people rejecting any of this or throwing negativity your way or saying it can't or slamming the door. Any one of those people, 5 days later, 5 years later, 2 lifetimes from now, or when I pass on my last breath, I may see them, this is 50 years from now, whenever. It's just, it could be a completely shiny, happy person the next time you talk to them. They could be miserable. You just don't know it. They could be stuck somehow, but they don't want to share it and they don't want to ask for help. I don't know. You just have to allow. And if you can send them a little bit of kindness or space. And I love what one of my guests said last year, Teresa Shantz. She's amazing. She said, don't send it to the person necessarily for doing prayer or sending love, light. Send it to their angel team. Send it to the universe to do the delivery. They know how to do the proper packaging. And I loved it. I thought that was just genius. Let me try to find just a couple more photos. Rebecca, one of my business managers with Michael and Charlotte. Archangel Gabriel. 4 archangels. There's 3 more off camera. Zachiel, Shamiel, and Jophiel. A Claire, who's resilience. Mac, don't call her Mackenzie. Everything plants, animals, and nature. Plato, you can see the old man's face if you look close. Let me try to do it this way. There you go. You can see nose, eyes. If you still are stuck, just breathe, walk away, come up, or look at it at a distance. No hugs for him. They're sweaty. It goes on and on and on. There's a lot of figures. You get to meet your own angel team. I rarely get to do that just yet. There's too many figures at the front end. You're going to want to talk to Sylvia Brown, Einstein, MLK, Mandela, again, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, Gandhi, Vishnu, Krishna, Ganesh, and so on. Again, get all your answers. I mean, where else are you going to get all your answers? This trumps AI. This beats any video on YouTube. You don't have to travel to India. So in a way, this is complete insanity in terms of how cool it is. It's up to you. Whatever you're going to put in, you're going to get out of it. So if you can just relax and check out of here and not worry too much about anything, you've got great functioning electricity, plumbing, ability to listen, feel, hear, see, smell. Even if your schnoggin is broken, you were a professional skier at one point or NCAA, but you broke your nose. It never quite worked the same way. Angels, when they do, it could be a Native American smell like sage, sweetgrass, juniper, desert pinon, pine, Sedona wildflowers. It could be a wind in your hair. It can just penetrate your nose. It's energy first turning into the smell. So it bypasses the fact that your nose doesn't work. That has happened before. That's why you can close your eyes too and get a vision. Like a vision, a hug goes beyond the human language. Therefore, it's better. It's bigger. I think, one hug's worth 100 questions. A vision where a symphony of light comes in and you're seeing it, it can unpack over, weeks, months, years. depending on what the topic is. If you need help with a book, this is great. See your book cover with your eyes shut. You can see your book cover in the sky if you want. You can see your soul in the sky. You can hear your higher self. You can get your past lives stuff. I'll say it's concurrent lives. The more you do love is the message. Most people don't even know how to start doing love. It's taking a breath. It's self-love by just giving yourself some breathing space and not taking yourself or any of your situations as seriously as you have been. Because when we lock on to what our situation is, an illness, you've had a certain debilitating situation for a long time, you identify it. The mind is what's like concrete. Concrete thinking, you're in a house that hasn't been feng shuied at all. The goal of the feng shuiing of it is to get you to flow back through your heart again. Once you do that, it's what Einstein said. The consciousness that says my problem is, my situation is not the same consciousness that allows you to move past it and grow in life, be shinier. And I've ad-libbed there a little, but it's really unconsciousness up here, consciousness down here. So relax more, breathe more, allow more is the basic message. I've got a little listening to Angels book for $7.99, totally written by angels. If anyone thinks I wrote it, let me know. Put it in the comments section. Absolutely, I could not have written it. I saw balls of light. I typed what I typed. It's super gentle. Compassion, unconditional love are the most complex words. It's probably 45 pages, 15, 25 minutes to read, but it tells you everything you need to know to listen. Provides 7 photographs. That's a $21 value on my website. If you go buy all those photos individually, you really only need one angel, one photo, one whatever, $3 on your iPhone. Carry it around, and then remember, if you can remember to look, ask a question, listen. You don't need the photos, but it's a great stepping stone. The seeing directly is a lot. I'll grant people that, but it's cool. And if you're in the zone, you're in the zone. Like if you can water ski once a certain way, slalom 2 skis. If you can do something one way once, why wouldn't you be able to do it again? If you want to score one soccer goal, you could probably do it again. It's called just being in the zone, being in your heart, letting go, allowing. And I'm going to argue that it's as difficult as this. I got to do a quick public service announcement for YouTube here. Please subscribe, share, like, comment. Have fun with, obviously, the content. Please get this out to other people. Let's get to 100,000, lickety split. Let's make it happen. We're the only channel taking steps on air, getting you angels before and after the show, obviously for guests, but also they take steps during the show. Okay. It's super easy to take any steps. Just be in your heart, allow, receive. That's it. You could be talking answers, again, any answers in any languages, all dialects, plus hear it the way you need to hear it. You're an expert on this topic, and it's archaeological, Mayan, from like however many years ago. You'll hear it the way you need to hear it. Not everybody else is going to understand it, but you're going to appreciate it. That's how big the universe is, and that's how you also have no privacy and how much fun this is. And think of all the potential. Mankind could, according to angels, I think it was 3 hours flat for us opening up as a group. I don't know if mankind could do that. It's taken me 12 years to go this far. I've got no complaints. I'm learning, growing, getting more patient, have a bigger sense of humor, and just spot when the ego's coming earlier so that you just say, oh, that sounds good to the person, but you're not going to talk again for a decade. What are you going to do? You can't tell anybody anything. There's some organic growth that has to happen. It doesn't have to be by my schedule or anyone else's schedule. It'll just happen for the person when it happens. It's why not controlling other people's speech, thoughts, actions, and letting them learn on their own is the best policy for pretty much everything. Call it capitalism if you wish, of the soul. You have to do your own learning. You have to do your own loving. No one can force you to love others. It has to be organic. Forced love is just more unlove, more restriction, control, desire to restrict, control, fear, and so on. It's not love. Love is fun. Okay, here's some sage. I lit it. It's Juniper Ridge Sage, not sponsored, but you can find it on my website. I'm blowing some through the screen. I'll figure out that Amazon affiliate thing at some point, so look for the fine print. But here's a red-tailed hawk feather. I'm blowing through the screen. You just have to breathe and relax. If you have to do a chubby checker or Elvis, a shimmy, but the number one thing is just silently be like, hey, angels, get me out of my head, into my heart, make this nice, help me smell sage. Amen, rock and roll, thank you. Are you from India, that one part of India? Say Om Sai Ram, own it. How do you own something? How do you go have the best cup of tea in the world or the best tennis match or a good walk? I don't know. You figure it out. The whole role of this entire thing is you have to figure out your own details. Here's some sage, catch what you can catch. Play it again if you need to, but this isn't linear. It's always kind of a huge curve that accelerates. Ask for flowers. Ask for your favorite wisteria, lavender, hibiscus from Maui. What will you ask for? What will you allow for is the bigger picture question here. Play it again. I do this in all my videos too. You can go to any show, but watch people take steps on the show, especially towards the end of the show. Leave it on around the house. Play it on your big TV, your screen. Go to the YouTube app and just have it playing as your housekeeping, cooking, hanging out, taking a nap. But once in a while, an angel photo will come up. Put your hand out. Doesn't matter the distance. You could be at one end of a Walmart or a soccer field and the other person's at the other end. You might have to start like this where you're feeling each other's hand, but you can feel the energy all the way back. Then you can see the light. And want to throw a wrench into it all that's going to short circuit you. Ask for an angel to make butterflies coming out of your light stream and watch the butterflies fly around. Why not? As Sri Kaleshwar said all the time, why not? Do more love, experience more love, share more love. That is the entire name of the entire game, whether we're talking career, business, health, this crisis, this political situation, that thing. It's all about love. Science, wow, have they got a lot of learning to do, but that's not me judging it. I got a little stress on that. They just have to pay attention more, and they're going to get their answers. It's, again, the universe is far bigger than we allow for. Angels come from really far away. There's light beings that are like whales. Angels are like dolphins. Wait till the UFO, UAP crowd starts putting the attention, keep doing the attention on the less than love stuff, all the details, the tit for tat, days of our lives, young and restless as the world turns stuff. That's less than love. It's a lower vibration. It's who did what to whom. What do we know? When did we know it? What do we have? Crash retrieval material technology. But guess what? You could just bypass that whole topic and start talking to light beings. You have to be a nice person, do some listening, and go where you're going to go with it. What's no limits look like in Q&A? For an archaeologist, it's one thing. For a astrophysicist, it's another. For an athlete, it's another. You can get help with your runs. You can get help with your tennis game and your arm. You're sore from gardening. You can get that fixed. Compassion's compassion. Light is light. Love is love. Have more fun with it all. Last few things. Please, again, subscribe, like, comment, share. Not enough people are seeing this. I think we're only going to be at about 2,000 in audience, and here it is, the very beginning of 2024. It's not bad. Good start. We've had some of our videos take off, which is just absolutely fantastic. But this is going to be at 100,000 or a couple million as fast as you can imagine, just because, again, who's doing angels? There's plenty of people out there channeling on your behalf, doing psychic medium stuff, and I think that's great. You always want to hire them. Who wants to take the time to trust their own abilities when you could just hit a button, pay someone, and have them do your listening for you? But that's not what we do. You can open up and become the top psychic medium in the world if that's what you're meant to do. You can activate your hands to do healing on others. You can do listening on behalf of others. That can be a little scary for some. It's enough to sometimes it's just enough to do your own listening, and that's about as far as you're going to allow for. So this is truly no limits with angels. Lots of humor. Again, hear about your life path. They can alter your path. What will you allow for? What will you ask for? Even if you can't take that next step, getting the book or watching some of the videos, they're free. Subscribing, why don't you just right now put it out to angels? Hey, angels, universe, guides, my loved ones who are watching over me, what do you think half your intuition is? And even though it's your voice for a lot of the good ideas, you would absolutely freak out if it was Aunt Martha or your guardian angel or Einstein or Sai Baba or Mary Jesus Muhammad talking to you. You would stop in the middle of your golf swing in the tournament and ruin the tournament. Or driving, you'd probably pull off the road in a bad way. So you're getting influenced, you're getting help where it's appropriate without any interference all the time. You're getting help all the time. Trust in it, but why not ask for a little more? So just turn to the universe before bed or on a walk and be like, universe, don't come from a place of lack. Don't do it from up here resisting pain. I've never experienced love before. I'll never, ever, ever be happy again. All this super stuck stuff that people say. Come from the heart and genuinely just be like, hey, throw me some love, throw me some humor, give me some signs. You can have feathers, both real feathers outside your door to an electronic feather. You're in your kitchen having a fun time. You put music on, put a candle on, protected candle, incense, something that lightens your mood. Try to remember what it was that when you were a kid, when you were 14, when you were 24, last week, whenever you were super high vibe, you never lost that ability. Why wouldn't you want to be high vibe more often? Why wouldn't you want to be happier, content, experiencing more inner calm, walking a smoother path more often? That's all this is about. And it's kind of dumb to think that the universe is just this, and you blink out on your last breath, and that's all there was to life. It's a little short-sighted. So there are photos of angels, videos of angels. You can do this as a group. You can get any answers to any questions. What will you allow for? There's the book. I've got mugs now. 11-ounce mug. If you can't do anything else, settle for a mug. I'll have t-shirts as well soon. 11-ounce mug on the YouTube channel, but a 20-ounce mug at my website. The 11-ounce mug is actually pretty awesome as well. So check those out. It's the same design for both. But anything you could do to support the efforts here would be great. You'd be surprised. Most people are absolutely hesitant or unable to sign up and do this stuff. It's okay. It'll become way more popular down the road. But you can get in now at the ground floor and experience this for yourself. It's mind-blowing. It's everything you are expecting to get at an ashram, Machu Picchu, or elsewhere, but instead you get to find it right here. It's the classic treasure hunt, to quote an angel, except you're the treasure. You get to find yourself right here. With that, Michael Andre Ford, San Antonio, Texas, your American Angel Intuitive. Have a wonderful 2024. Thank you.